A $500 million jet just landed at JFK, and the two kids stepping off? They're about to destroy a billionaire's life. But here's the twist you won't see coming. By the end of this story, Michael Reed will discover the paternity test he trusted was completely forged. And the person who did it? Someone he'd trust with his life. And in about 60 seconds, you're going to see the exact moment his world collapses. But first, you need to understand what he's walking into. If you love stories where power, family, and betrayal collide, you're in the right place. Let's go. The November wind cuts across the JFK private terminal at 40 miles per hour. Cold enough to sting. Sharp enough to make your eyes water. Michael Reed stands beside his Bentley Continental GT. Midnight blue, $273,000. Hands shoved deep in his Burberry cashmere coat. He's watching a Boeing business jet taxi toward him like it owns the sky. White fuselage. Single gold stripe running nose to tail. Tail number NGCT 787. $500 million. Minimum. The kind of aircraft Saudi crown princes fly. Heads of state. Not your ex-wife, who teaches third grade in Cambridge. The Rolls-Royce engines wind down with a sound like a sleeping dragon. The air stairs unfold. Hydraulic, silent, perfect. She appears. Sarah Blake. 5 years. 5 years since she walked out of their Tribeca loft with one leather suitcase. A blank expression and absolutely zero explanation. 5 years since divorce papers arrived by messenger with her signature already dried in black ink. She looks the same but different. Hair longer, darker. Eyes harder. Shoulders back. But it's not Sarah that stops Michael's heart. It's the two kids behind her. A girl. A boy. Maybe 7, maybe 8. Matching navy backpacks with their initials stitched in gold thread. Same dark curls that blow wild in the wind. The exact same way Michael's does. Same sharp jawline he sees in a mirror every morning. Same deep-set brown eyes. The boy looks up at his sister, confused, scared. Is that him? Sarah nods toward Michael without breaking eye contact. The girl steps forward first. Bolder. Fearless. Michael. He can't speak. His throat has closed. His lungs have forgotten their job. She tries again. Softer this time. Almost a whisper. Dad. That word. That single syllable. It hits him like a truck doing 70 on the Long Island Expressway. A ground crew member walks past, clipboard tucked under his arm. Michael catches the header in bold type, Glenhaven Children's Trust. Remember that name, because in about 20 minutes, you're going to find out exactly what Glenhaven is and why it was built to destroy Michael. The boy whispers to his sister, just loud enough for the wind to carry it. Are you the Michael from the TV? Michael can't answer, can't move, can't breathe. Sarah descends the air stairs slowly, deliberately, every step calculated. She stops exactly 3 feet from him, close enough to speak quietly, far enough to keep distance. Her eyes bore into his. Michael, she says, voice steady and cold. Meet your children. The world tilts. But here's what Michael doesn't know yet. This moment, right here, was planned, orchestrated, timed down to the minute. And the person who planned it? He's having dinner with them in 3 hours. Let me rewind and show you how he got here. 48 hours earlier. Manhattan, Tuesday evening, November 22nd. The sun is dying over Midtown, painting the glass towers in shades of burnt orange and deep shadow. Nexurus Technologies headquarters, 47th floor, northwest corner office overlooking Bryant Park. Michael's office smells like burnt espresso from the Jura machine in the corner and old leather from the wingback, chairs his mother picked out before she died. CFO James Whitaker walks in without knocking, which he only does when it's bad. He drops a 3-inch binder on Michael's mahogany desk. Hard. The coffee cup rattles. Emergency board vote. Black Friday. 9 a.m. sharp. Michael doesn't look up. He's staring at acquisition projections on his laptop for the 4th time today, running scenario models until his eyes burn. Linda's been planning this for months, James. It's all theater. It stops being theater when she has the votes. James leans both palms on the desk. His voice drops. Unless you can prove the Orion acquisition won't crater Q1 earnings, she's installing Daniel as interim CEO by noon. Michael closes the laptop. Slowly, his jaw tightens at his younger brother's name. Daniel Reed, 34 years old. Wharton MBA. Charming when he wants to be. Brilliant when it suits him. Reckless when no one's watching. Hungry in all the wrong ways. And here's what's coming. In less than 48 hours, Michael will discover Daniel's been lying to him for 5 years. About something unforgivable. I'll handle Linda. James straightens up but doesn't move toward the door. There's something else. Of course there is. Your RSVP list for Thanksgiving in Sagaponack. Sarah Blake confirmed. Yes, +2. The name lands like a stone in water. Ripples everywhere. Sarah, the ex-wife who vanished like smoke after the divorce. Clean split. No kids. No custodivates. No alimony fight. Just gone. Why would she RSVP after 5 years of silence? I don't know. But her confirmation came from a corporate email. Glenhaven Trust. Ever heard of it? Michael shakes his head. Never. Hold that name in your mind. Glenhaven. Because when you find out who created it and why, everything you've watched so far will make terrifying sense. James walks to the door. Stops. Turns back. Michael, if anything personal surfaces before Friday's vote, Linda Grant will bury you. And she's already sharpening the shovel. The door clicks shut. Michael sits alone in the silence. Outside, the city hums. Car horns. Sirens. 30 million people who don't care about his problems. His iPhone buzzes on the desk. One new message. Sarah. Sent 2 minutes ago. See you Thursday. The kids are excited. Kids? He reads it 3 times. Kids. Plural. His hand starts shaking. In the corner of the office, the Bloomberg terminal scrolls a red headline. Nexurus board tensions rise. Reed family scandal. Somebody leaked that story. And when you find out who, you'll understand just how deep this conspiracy goes. Wednesday morning, November 23rd. Sagaponack Estate, Eastern Long Island. The Atlantic Ocean sounds like rolling thunder beyond the floor-to-ceiling glass walls. November in the Hamptons is brutal. Wind off the water at 40 knots. Salt in the air thick enough to taste. Roads empty except for landscapers and caretakers. Mr. Alvarez, the house manager Michael's known for 12 years, moves through the dining room like a conductor preparing for a symphony. White Belgian linen tablecloth. Baccarat crystal. Christoffel silver. 18 place, settings on a table that seats 24. The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade plays on the kitchen TV, muted. Giant Snoopy and Pillsbury Doughboy balloons float down Central Park West in eerie silence. On the Sub-Zero fridge, a Cowboys magnet holds the NFL schedule. Cowboys versus Giants for 30 p.m. Alvarez pauses at the head of the table. That chair. The one where Michael's mother used to sit every Thanksgiving, carving knife in hand, telling stories about the Reed family sailing days off Nantucket. Gone 4 years now. Pancreatic cancer. Diagnosis to funeral in 11 weeks. She was the only person who ever kept Daniel in check. And here's something critical. If she were still alive, none of what's about to happen would be possible. She knew things. Secrets. The kind that keep brothers honest. Alvarez opens the hallway closet for extra napkins. A cardboard box catches his eye on the top shelf. Label, half-peeled and faded. Cambridge 2019. Curious, he pulls it down. Opens it. Inside, a baby blanket. Cream-colored cashmere. Soft enough to cost serious money. Monogrammed in navy thread. Initials, Ade. Alvarez frowns. Ade Avared. But there's no Ava in the Reed family. At least, not one he knows about. He sets it aside. Makes a mental note. That blanket is about to become evidence. Meanwhile, at the exact same moment, 6 miles south in Midtown Manhattan, Linda Grant's corner office looks like a museum of ambition. White walls. Glass desk with nothing on it. Single white orchid. Zero photos. Zero personal items. Just power. She's on her second macchiato, staring at 3 monitors, cycling stock tickers, and Nexus internal performance metrics. Her phone vibrates. Text, Daniel Reed. Keep him calm until Friday. Then we move. Linda likes the message. Doesn't reply. Doesn't need to. They've been planning this for 18 months. Every contingency mapped. Every outcome gamed. Michael thinks he's fighting a board coup. He has no idea he's walking into a trap 5 years in the making. And in about 30 seconds, you're going to see the next piece fall into place. Back in Sagaponack, Michael's halfway through his second beach run when his phone rings. He stops, breath misting in the cold air, and answers. Tom, what's going on? Tom Baker, Nexus company pilot. 6 years flying the Gulfstream G650. Steady, discreet, never gossips. Until now. Sir, I'm at Teterboro. Just got word. Ms. Blake upgraded her inbound transport. Upgraded what? Her planes, sir. She's not flying commercial. Not even fractional charter. She's arriving in a custom Boeing 787 business jet. I've seen Saudi royalty fly smaller rigs. Michael stops walking. The ocean crashes behind him. Where the hell did she get a $500 million plane? I can't say, sir, but someone's making a statement. The call ends. Michael stares at the gray horizon. Waves keep rolling in. They don't stop. They don't care. What Michael doesn't know, that plane was purchased 3 years ago. By a trust. A trust with 2 trustees. And one of them is about to sit down at his Thanksgiving table. Wednesday afternoon, 2:47 p.m. JFK, private terminal. The Boeing business jet is a masterpiece. Polished to a mirror finish. The gold accent stripe catches the weak November sun like a knife edge. Michael stands behind the chain-link fence, hands buried in his coat pockets, watching it taxi in like an alien ship. The dispatcher mentions it casually, like it's nothing. Glenhaven Children's Trust. Paid in full. No lease. No lien. No debt. There's that name again. Glenhaven. And you're about to find out exactly what it means. Tom approaches from the tarmac. He's holding something. She left this with me, sir. 3 years ago. Said to give it to you if she ever came back. He hands Michael a sealed envelope. Cream-colored linen stationery. Heavy. Expensive. The kind you buy at a specialty shop in Soho. Across the wax seal, stamped in black ink. Open only if they find you. Not find me. Find you. Tom shifts his weight, uncomfortable. For what it's worth, sir, she looked terrified when she handed it to me. Michael doesn't open it. Not yet. He tucks it inside his coat, against his chest, where it sits like a live grenade. He's going to carry that envelope for the next 6 hours. And when he finally opens it, at the worst possible moment, what's inside will rewrite everything. At the exact same time, Bryant Park Ice Rink, Manhattan, Daniel meets James near the southwest corner, where tourists take selfies and nobody pays attention. Cold enough that conversations stay short. We need certainty before the opening bell, Daniel says, breath fogging in the air. James nods, hunched in his overcoat. Linda's locked 5 votes. Michael has 4. Tiebreaker scenario. Daniel's phone buzzes. He glances at the screen. Smiles. Puts it away. Problem solved. That smile should terrify you. Because what Daniel just confirmed changes the entire game. And Michael has no idea it's coming. Back at JFK, the helicopter's rotors start spinning. Sarah boards with the 2 kids. They don't look back. Michael stands on the tarmac long after the chopper lifts off, the envelope burning against his ribs like a brand. Inside that envelope is a photograph. And when you see it, you'll understand why Sarah disappeared. Wednesday, 4:52 p.m., Sagaponack Estate. The helicopter touches down on the back lawn like a dragonfly landing on glass. The grass flattens in rippling waves. The rotors wind down. Inside the house, the Macy's parade still plays. Giant Snoopy bobbing past Macy's Herald Square. Michael opens the front door. Sarah steps out first. Then the twins, Ava, Noah. They stare at the house like they've landed on another planet. All that glass and steel and Atlantic Ocean crashing beyond. Michael crouches to their level, trying to make himself smaller, less intimidating. Ava speaks first. Confident. Direct. We saw you on CNBC. Noah nods, quieter. Mom said you build things that fly. Michael's mouth is dry as sand. Yeah, sort of. I run a company that makes parts for planes and satellites. And he stops. There's 7. They don't care about aerospace-grade titanium components. Yeah, I help build things that fly. Ava smiles. Noah doesn't. Sarah steps past them into the house, close enough that Michael smells her perfume. Different from what she used to wear, something sharper, and she leans in, voice barely a whisper. They think you know Michael. They think you chose this. Chose what? But she's already moving toward the kitchen. In about 90 seconds, Sarah is going to show Michael 2 pieces of paper that will shatter everything he thought he knew about his marriage, his divorce, and his family. The twins linger in the entryway by a large framed photo. Michael and Daniel, maybe 16 and 14, on a sailboat off Nantucket. Matching grins. Sunburned noses. Happier days. Ava points. Is that your brother? Yeah, that's Daniel. Noah frowns, confused. Mom says he's the one who sent the letters. Michael freezes. What letters? Before Noah can answer, the living room TV glitches. Just for a second. The Macy's parade feed flickers, replaced by a wide-angle security camera view of the front entryway. The exact spot where they're standing. Someone is mirroring the estate's internal security feed. Someone is watching them. Right now. Live. Sarah sees it. Her face drains of color. And here's what you need to understand. That security breach isn't random. It's intentional, because what's about to happen in the kitchen needs to be recorded. The kitchen is all Carrara marble and hammer copper. $10,000 per linear foot. Beautiful. Cold. Sarah sets her leather bag on the island. Reaches inside. Pulls out 2 folded pieces of paper. Birth certificates. She slides them across the stone surface. Michael picks up the first one. His hands are shaking. Name, Ava Riley Blake. Date of birth, November 14th, 2017. Mother, Sarah Elizabeth Blake. Father, blank. The second is identical. Name, Noah Cameron Blake. Father, blank. Michael's voice cracks. Sarah what? I didn't leave you, Michael. Her voice is quiet, controlled. But underneath, there's a tremor, a crack in the foundation. I was removed. And what she's about to tell him will explain everything. The 5 years of silence, the blank father fields, the $500 million jet. Everything. What does that mean? It means someone paid for a fertility clinic in Boston I never chose. Someone sent lawyers with NDAs I couldn't understand. Someone told me you already knew about the pregnancy, that you'd signed affidavits requesting distance, that you wanted nothing to do with us. I know that now. Her voice finally breaks. But 5 years ago, I got legal threats, Michael. They said if I contacted you directly, I'd lose custody. They showed me documents with your signature. They had lawyers. Real ones. Who? Who did this? She opens her mouth. A knock at the door. Mr. Alvarez. Sir, there's a process server at the front gate. He's insisting. Michael takes the manila envelope. Tears it open. Legal letterhead. New York Family Court. Southern District. Emergency guardianship petition. Hearing date, November 25th, 8 a.m. Petitioner, Daniel Reed. Michael reads it twice. 3 times. His brother, his own blood, is trying to take custody of children Michael didn't even know existed until 20 minutes ago. And here's the play. If Michael acknowledges the twins before the guardianship hearing, Daniel loses standing. But if Michael acknowledges them before Friday's board vote, he loses the company. It's a perfect trap. The kitchen island now looks like a crime scene. Documents everywhere. The guardianship petition. A partial photocopy of Michael and Sarah's prenuptial agreement. Page 3 conspicuously missing, torn off. In a trust summary, Sarah pulls up on her iPhone. Glenhaven Children's Trust. Glenhaven paid for the jet, Sarah says quietly. Not me. I teach third graders in Cambridge for $48,000 a year. I don't have private jet money. Michael scrolls through the summary on her screen. Trust formation date, March 15, 2019. 2 months after their divorce was finalized. Trustee names, redacted. But one signature bleeds through the black redaction ink. Nilere. Daniel. Michael's phone buzzes. James. We've got a situation. Someone leaks something to Bloomberg. I don't know what. TMZ's sniffing. This is bad. Michael hangs up without answering. He scrolls to the beneficiary section. The acknowledged firstborn biological children of Michael Reed. Not biological. Acknowledged. Do you see it now? The trap is elegant. Brutal. If Michael claims the twins, the trust activates. Assets transfer. Control shifts. And the board has grounds to remove him for non-disclosure. Someone built a legal landmine, baited it with his own children, and set the timer for Thanksgiving. But wait, because in about 3 minutes, you're going to see who's really behind this. And it's worse than you think. 6 p.m. dining room. The table is perfect. 22-pound Diestel turkey, golden and steaming. Cranberry sauce in a baccarat bowl. Sage stuffing. Yukon Gold mashed potatoes with cream and butter. Every tradition honored. The Cowboys game plays on mute on the TV. Dallas is losing to the Giants, 14-3. Daniel arrives at exactly 6 o'clock, grinning, confident. He's wearing a charcoal Tom Ford suit and no tie. He hugs Sarah like they're old friends. She doesn't hug back. Her arms stay at her sides. Watch her face. She's terrified of him. Ava and Noah sit at the far end of the table, quiet, overwhelmed by the formality of it all. Then the iPad on the sideboard chimes. Video call incoming. Linda Grant's face fills the screen. Perfect Lily. Hair perfect. Smile sharp enough to draw blood. Just wanted to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. Michael stands slowly. Daniel. Kitchen. Now. Not now, brother. It's Thanksgiving. Sarah reaches into her bag, pulls out a manila folder, places it in the center of the table. Then let's all be thankful for transparency. Michael opens it. The full trust deed. Every page. Unredacted. And what you're about to see will make your jaw drop. Glenhaven Children's Trust. Trustees. Linda Grant. Daniel Reed. Assets. Boeing 787 BBJ. Appraised value. $512 million. 12% equity block. Nexurus Technologies Incorporated. Current market value. $1,140 million. Beneficiaries. The acknowledged firstborn biological children of Michael Reed. The room goes silent. You could hear a pin drop on the hardwood floor. Michael's voice is ice. You knew. Daniel doesn't blink. Doesn't flinch. I protected the company, Michael. You built a trap? Using my kids. Linda's voice cuts through the iPad speaker like a scalpel. Gentlemen, let's not ruin the holiday. Emergency board meeting is now scheduled for 9 p.m. tonight. From your dining room, Michael. Attendance is mandatory. The screen goes black. Ava looks at Noah. Noah looks at Michael. Ava's voice is tiny. Are we in trouble? Michael kneels beside her chair. No, sweetheart. You're not in trouble. You didn't do anything wrong. She pulls a folded piece of paper from her pocket. Construction paper. Crayola markers. I made this for you. For the dad I never met. She hands it to him. It's a drawing. A stick figure family. A man, a woman, 2 kids. Above them, in shaky letters. My family. I love you, Dad. Michael's throat closes. His vision blurs. For the first time in 4 years, since his mother's funeral, Michael Reed's hands shake and his voice cracks. I love you too. If this hit you the way it hit Michael, go ahead and hit the like button. Because what comes next is going to break you even more. In about 60 seconds, you're going to see proof that everything Daniel just said was a lie. Midtown Manhattan, 7:14 p.m. Nexurus War Room. Olivia Park paces in front of 3 monitors. Behind her, James is at a whiteboard, tallying proxy votes with a dry erase marker. If he claims them tonight, we go full disclosure. Family first narrative. Humanize it. Wall Street loves a redemption arc. James shakes his head, capping the marker. If he claims them, the trust activates. Equity transfers to Ava and Noah, with Michael as fiduciary guardian. Linda loses her leverage. She'll force him out anyway for conflict of interest. Olivia stops pacing. Then we stall until after the vote. But here's what they don't know. Michael isn't thinking about the company anymore. He's thinking about 7 years. 7 birthdays he missed. 7 Christmases. First words. First steps. And someone stole that from him. Back in Sagaponack, Sarah corners Michael in the hallway outside the kitchen, voice urgent. The first paternity test. The one they showed me 5 years ago when I was still in the hospital. Check the invoice. What are you talking about? They made me take a paternity test, Michael. Said it was hospital policy for twin births. Check who processed it. Michael pulls out his phone. Opens archived email. Searches paternity 2019. One result. Invoice from Regen Diagnostics, LLC. A Daniel venture. Biotech startup. Funded in 2018. Shuttered in 2021 after the money dried up. And now the pieces start falling into place. The living room TV suddenly flickers. A push alert scrolls across the bottom. TMZ breaking. Secret heirs threaten Nexus IPO. The photo. Michael holding a newborn in a hospital room. Blue gown. His dimple visible even in the grainy shot. Sarah gasps, hand over her mouth. That's from Mass General. The day they were born. I never released that photo. No one had access except. She stops. Michael finishes the sentence. Except hospital staff. And whoever had legal access to your medical records. Someone's been sitting on that photo for 7 years. Waiting for the perfect moment to detonate it. That moment is now. Headlights sweep across the front windows. A black Tesla Model S pulls into the circular driveway. Madison chin steps out. Michael's fiancée. She wasn't supposed to arrive until tomorrow morning. She walks in without knocking. Sees the twins at the dining table, coloring on cloth napkins with Crayola markers. Sees Sarah in the kitchen, washing dishes. Her face drains of every drop of color. Michael. Kitchen. Right now. They stand by the farmhouse sink. Madison's voice is controlled. Measured. Lethal. If you claim them, I'm out. Madison, I didn't know they existed. I don't care. Her voice is flat. I didn't sign up for instant family. With your ex-wife in the picture. Playing happy blended family for the cameras. This isn't about cameras. Everything is about cameras, Michael. You're a billionaire CEO. Nothing is private. She turns. Walks to the door. Stops. Turns back. If you choose them, you lose me. Decide by morning. The door slams hard enough to rattle the windows. Ava looks up from her drawing. Was that your girlfriend? Michael nods. Did we make her mad? No, sweetheart. She's mad at me. Noah, quieter, more perceptive. Is she going to make you send us away? Michael kneels between their chairs. No one is sending you anywhere. I promise. And that promise, right there, is going to cost him everything. But in about 90 seconds, he's going to discover something that makes the choice obvious. Michael calls Robert Klein, family attorney, the guy who handled his mother's estate. Robert, the prenup. The missing page. What's on it? Long pause. Too long. Michael, there's a succession clause. If biological heirs are acknowledged within 7 years of divorce, certain assets revert to a family trust established for their benefit. Which trust? Glen Haven. Michael closes his eyes. They built this from the start. It would appear so. Sarah slides another envelope across the marble counter. Inside, a lab report. Recent. Official letterhead. Paternity analysis. Subjects. Ava Blake, Noah Blake, Michael Reed. Date. November 18th, 2017. Result. Probability of paternity. 0%. Michael stares at it. This is impossible. Sarah taps the lab logo at the top. Regen Diagnostics, LLC. Daniel's defunct lab. The one that no longer exists. The one that can't be audited. Can't be questioned. Can't produce records. Because it was designed to disappear. Sarah pulls out her phone. Opens her photo library. Scrolls back 3 years. December 2020. Aspen. I was told a Nexurus representative needed to meet me to finalize updated protective NDAs. She shows Michael a photo. Snow-covered mountains. A woman in a black Nexurus-branded puffer jacket. Sunglasses. Coffee cup. Olivia Park. Michael dials her number. Puts it on speaker. 3 rings. Olivia. Quick question. December 2020. Did you meet Sarah in Aspen? Silence. Too long. No, I've never met Sarah in my life. Sarah leans toward the phone. Then why is your signature notarized on my NDA? The line goes dead. 10 seconds later, Tom sends a text. Flight log attached. Michael opens it. December 18th, 2020. Route, Teterboro, Aspen. Passenger manifest. M. Reed, corporate card, plus liaison OP. Olivia Park's initials. She just lied. On speaker. And now there's proof. Robert calls back. I pulled the 2017 paternity test. The original one Daniels lab processed. Michael, there's no independent witness signature. Chain of custody is completely broken. It's inadmissible in any court. Then what's real? Michael's phone buzzes. Unknown number. Backup neonatal sample stored at Cambridge Hospital under pseudonym PR. 2847. Asked for Dr. Priya Patel. She kept everything. And this, right here, is the moment everything changes. Michael dials the number. Voicemail. 10 seconds later, a voicemail notification. He plays on speaker. A woman's voice. Calm. Clinical. Professional. Mr. Reed, this is Dr. Priya Patel, Neonatal Genetics, Cambridge Hospital. I'm calling regarding samples stored under pseudonym PR 2847. Ms. Blake requested I preserve backup samples at the time of birth. Hospital policy required it for multiples. I located an untouched vial in cryostorage. I processed the analysis you requested. Pause. Preliminary result. 99.9% probability you are the biological father of both children. The kitchen goes silent. Sarah covers her mouth. Tears stream down her face. The first test, the one that said 0%, was fake. Fabricated. Forged. By Daniel. Or Linda. Or both. Robert's voice cuts through the speaker, steady. Michael, if you publicly acknowledge the twins tonight, Glenhaven activates. The equity block transfers to them, with you as fiduciary guardian until they're 18. Linda and Daniel lose control, but the board will argue material non-disclosure. They'll force you out. Michael stands, looks through the doorway into the living room. Ava and Noah are on the floor playing Uno, laughing. His kids, his biological children, stolen from him, hidden, weaponized, for 5 years. Then he hears them. Sirens. Distant. Getting closer. The gate intercom buzzes. Alvarez answers. A crackling voice. NYPD. We need to speak with Sarah Blake regarding the aircraft registered to Glenhaven Children's Trust. And now the final trap springs. The iPad screen flickers to life. Linda's face. Behind her, the full board in a midtown conference room. Michael, we're officially convened. You have 5 minutes to disclose any material personal matters affecting Nexurus governance, or we proceed to a removal vote. An SEC attorney joins the screen. Older, gray suit, no expression. Mr. Reed, undisclosed family matters affecting share price constitute securities fraud. We'll halt trading at the opening bell if necessary. At the front door, 2 NYPD officers stand under the porch light. A detective in a gray coat holds up a badge. Ms. Blake, the Boeing 787 registered to Glenhaven Children's Trust is flagged in a Delaware embezzlement investigation. We need to ask you some questions. Sarah steps forward. Calm. Steady. I don't own the jet. The trust does. You're listed as a discretionary beneficiary, ma'am. That makes you a person of interest. On the iPad, Daniel appears beside Linda. Michael, sign the disclaimer. Protect the company. We'll sort the family issues out later. Michael walks to the head of the dining table, picks up the carving knife, cuts into the turkey himself. A small move, a visible one. He's not stepping aside. Mr. Alvarez whispers, "Sir, there's another gentleman with the officers. He says he's family counsel, not Mr. Klein." Michael looks out the window. A man in a gray suit, briefcase, no one he recognizes. And in about 30 seconds, you're going to find out who sent him. On the iPad, Linda starts the vote. All in favor of temporarily suspending Michael Reed, pending disclosure review and conflict of interest investigation. Raise your hand. One hand goes up, then another. 3, 4. James hesitates, looks directly at the camera, raises his hand. 5 votes. One more, and Michael is out. At the door, the detective holds up a subpoena. Behind him, a uniformed officer carries a cardboard banker's box. Label in black Sharpie. Glenhaven Trust. Financial records 2019 to 2024. The SEC attorney's voice crackles through the iPad. "Mr. Reed, you have 90 seconds to disclose, or we recommend emergency suspension." Michael looks at Sarah. She nods. He looks at the twins. Ava is staring at him, waiting. Noah's holding a blue crayon, frozen mid-stroke. Michael walks to the center of the room. Every single person watching him. The board on the screen. The police at the door. The twins on the floor. He inhales. "Ava. Noah." Dead silence. "I need you both to know something." His voice is steady now. "I didn't know you existed until this afternoon. But now that I do," he reaches into his coat, pulls out the envelope Tom gave him. The one he never opened. The one stamped. "Open only if they find you." He tears it open. Inside, a photograph. Sarah, pregnant, standing outside a brownstone in Cambridge. And next to her, arm around her shoulders, smiling directly at the camera, Daniel. Michael's voice goes cold. "Now I know who's been lying." The vote isn't finished. The police are still at the door. And that photograph? It changes everything. Part 2 drops tomorrow. If you want to know what happens next, and trust me, you do, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. The algorithm buries stories like this. Don't lose the thread. Drop your theory in the comments. Who's really pulling the strings? Daniel? Linda? Olivia? Or someone we haven't even considered yet?